So I'm outside gaining some clarity, and I basically figured out the things that I wanted to do. Well, partially, then I'm going to continue. So, first things first, I want for this month to have energy. And by that, I mean I want to have every day, I want to be able to get up and tackle my to do list and everything that I want to do to accomplish the life that I want every single day this month, no matter what. And it has been difficult trying to accomplish that thus far, as far as my energy levels and sleep, but I got to work harder. I know I don't want to be here forever, so I will wear the earplugs and still continue to get up in a positive, happy mood and like get up, clean up, get myself together, and start being productive from the start of the day and continue out with that momentum throughout the day. Incorporating my breaks so I don't get burnt out. So energy is the first thing. Next thing, really quit smoking and spending money on, smoking products because that's counterproductive as far as my energy. That's a downer. It's gonna drag my energy down. It's for relaxation, and right now I'm not in a relaxation mood. I'm in a get up and I gotta do what I gotta do mood because time is of the essence. Even if it's whether getting some sort of insurance license, travel CNA, some sort of CDL license, I gotta pick a skill or trade because that's what I feel like that I can permanently fall back on rather than just staying here and sitting back here relying on the twos and fews, relying on guys, relying on, my online presence. I don't want to rely on that. I want to instead, have something foundational to rely on. I do have an associate's degree, but as far as just a particular skill that I could say, hey, I got this license, so I want to go get this job. And it's always jobs available, or even working through an agency with a certain license could get my foot through the door. Even if I had to do an extensive resume for myself. Lately, my resumes haven't been cutting it. They looking at it, seeing Uber Eats and looking at my name and oh, okay, no. But that's furthest from the truth. I have a whole bunch of skills, even technical skills, you know, as far as fixing computers and software programs, hell, hardware programs, putting stuff together. I done put together a bike, TVs, fitness equipment, grills, cribs, a stripper pole, you name it. I put that together myself, sturdy, trampoline, and when I put something together, tight. You know what I mean? It's not gonna be loose. It's not gonna fall apart. I notice when other people put things together, they be missing things, they be messing up. But when I put something together, it's every piece is on there. Every piece is tight. I've even done Legos where I've built helicopters and trucks. Had a, assembly technician job. I had so many jobs, it's gonna be hard for me to keep up. But as long as I can get just remember my main technical skills or my main skills in general, then I probably can spruce up my resume and land some sort of, position. But I don't necessarily want to do that. I really kind of want to do my own thing, as far as just my own, creating my own position and my own pathway, as a trailblazer, whatever it is, just meeting that need. I was thinking as far as building homes that are sustainable to the weather, as far as even building an earthship type home that is, indestructible to harsh weathers. So say for instance, if it stays at a constant temperature of 70 to 75 degrees, no matter if it's winter or summer, then, that would be a sustainable option, but also something from the earth that's inexpensive and that people can learn to start building on their own, because at the end of the day, when it comes to these homeless situations, that summer could have been taken off as a community and as a family to build their house up for the winter. And people look at that idea as oh, okay, that's archaic, but at the end of the day, that's what we're going to have to go back to with these housing prices. Everyone is getting priced out, or at least, I feel that way subconsciously or whatever, because I feel like I have been. I don't make enough to afford any rent. That brings me to number 3, which I have a story to tell, even with, Mayor Mike Duggan's program that he came out with, and where people are able to get their records expunged and get their license back. I went through that program. I didn't go through that program to get my license back. I ended up having to spend $7,000 out of cash, out of my pocket, to get my license back. So I spent that money, got my license back, and I had a long misdemeanor criminal record full of getting arrested, going to county jail, you know what I mean? Just doing petty stuff, just like such as driving without a license, driving without insurance. It was mostly driving stuff. Driving with weed in the car, weed legal now. Driving around, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got no DUIs, but fighting, you know what I mean? I got into a few fights. So all of that stuff adds up. And then, now all of a sudden you got a long ass, misdemeanor criminal record sheet. Well, all of that has been expunged. I started getting those charges here in Michigan in 2015. So it's been 10 years. I went that period without having a license, driving around, you know what I mean, in that loophole where I had to work to get the license and drive to work, but I can't drive, but I need to work, you know what I mean? But I'm not supposed to drive, but I gotta drive to get to work to pay off the fees. So it's like a catch-22. How you gonna get to work to pay off the fines if you don't drive? That was the catch-22 that I got myself out of, constantly getting tickets and tickets and tickets, and then you don't go to court or something happens where you can't make it to court or you can't drive yourself to court. So now you are again stuck because, you're in that catch-22 loop. So I was able to get myself out of that by when 2020 came and everybody was getting all them checks. Instead of, buying whatever I could, I should have bought a house too, low key. I should have bought a house and a cash card, but I digress. I spent all that money to get my license back. So I've been a licensed driver ever since. I've gotten a couple of tickets since then, and what happened, I paid them immediately. I can't do anything with a ticket on my record, possibly suspend my license, possibly end back in jail. I don't never want to go back in jail. I spent a total of 54 days in jail in my whole entire lifetime. Not prison, nothing like that, but in a county freaking jail. Detroit, Wayne County Jail, and Oakland County Jail. And that shit ain't pretty, that shit ain't fun, that shit ain't cute. That shit ain't where I want to ever spend my life. I don't want to step foot back into jail. I would highly not recommend. 10 out of 10, never recommend. For nobody. I wouldn't even wish that on my enemy, you know what I mean? That place is only for people who truly can't get it right, who truly are a savage, who truly are animals, and I'm none of that. And so what that Mike Duggan program did was expunge my record. So now when you look up my criminal record, there is none. There's nothing there because all my stuff is expunged. So through that program, it took like 2 or 3 years to fully make it through the program. I had several court dates, online court dates. Some court dates I didn't have to go. My lawyers was there for me. Some days I had to go, show up, dress up and show up to court. The same court that put me in jail, I had to go face them once again and explain to them that I was never even supposed to be there in the first place. But they never want you to take that approach. They want you to just talk about what all the stuff you've done since then. Such as me, paid to get my license back, been a licensed driver, graduated college, been a mother, worked, got my own place. I was working doing the real estate as far as doing inspections and taking photos for the BPO, which is broker price opinion. So I was doing that. I took pictures all over Detroit, hundreds of houses. So that's what I was doing since 2023. So I let them know I was doing that. Even though things have slowed down, I haven't done that since like November. Here it is March. So I got to get back in contact with them so I can get that back on the record. So you got to stand in front of the same judge who put you in jail or in front of that same court and ask them to basically expunge you, to get that off your record so that when they do a background check, it's not there no more. Or if they try to say, oh, okay, you did this and that, then you got that court document stating, well, hey, this judge signed off on that. I ain't do that. That was a big mistake, and that's why it's gotten cleared. You see what I mean? So you basically getting a second chance.